This is Anatomy of Success, and I'm your host, Steve Wohlenhaus. This week, to be better at controlling feelings of inadequacy, do 9 things to improve. Let's get started. Welcome to Anatomy of Success. Each week we get together and we talk about my 4 tenets of equanimity: better health, healthy relationships, healthy intimate relationships, and more satisfying work. If we concentrate on these areas and all the things that are relevant to those things, we move in the direction of creating more happiness and greater life satisfaction. It's really that simple. If that sounds good, subscribe to our YouTube channel, find our audio podcast, subscribe, follow along there, and then drop by weatherology.com. There's a free weather mobile app I think you'll like. Find me under About Us, and at the top of that page, we can connect on social media. I'm surprised at how many really smart people and incredibly talented individuals feel inadequate. Feelings of inadequacy are painful and often inspired by the perception we don't measure up. Not feeling worthy is more common than most people realize, and little things can trigger a cascade of negative emotions that culminate in feelings of uselessness. Understanding this insidious cycle can be challenging. It normally starts with harsh self-criticism, though, and is exacerbated by incessant social comparisons. This negative pattern of self-debilitating noise often originates in childhood. We aren't born feeling inadequate, but poor parenting is often the cause of many kids getting the impression they're not good enough. Once this unhealthy diagnosis of our potential begins, it's difficult to break. It's like any other bad habit. It requires rewiring. And if we don't know about it, it's even tougher. I believe there are 4 things that create feelings of inadequacy and 5 things we can do to prevent those feelings of being inadequate. To be successful at overcoming inadequacy, try 9 things to improve. Here's what might be happening within ourselves. Expectations. Unrealistic expectations can lead to a myriad of negative feelings, but it's often the cause of feeling inadequate. Expectations of people, colleagues, friends, bosses can create feelings of anticipation that seldom end favorably. Assumptions about how we should feel predicated on someone's contributions is a recipe for disaster. Unrealistic emotional expectations are a primary reason many people feel inadequate. Affirmation. Low self-confidence is a primary reason people feel inadequate. Many people rely on outside affirmation to validate their self-esteem. When we lack the ability to build authentic self-confidence based on internal parameters, we depend on people to offer affirmations to reinforce our fragile ego. When things outside our control constantly impact our feelings of self-worth, we lack the self-awareness required to manage our emotions. Ruminate. I know many people that can't let go of the past and move forward in the spirit of amelioration. They dwell on negative history and beat themselves up over past mistakes. This incessant cycle of pummeling themselves based on previous setbacks fails to appreciate the importance of healthy reflection. Focusing on learning from our mistakes is essential to leverage past setbacks to make future improvements. Values. One of the most important exercises in life is understanding our values. Without a clear idea of what inspires our soul, where we want to go, we relegate to our past too much, and that impacts our future. That's never a good strategy, folks. Without a clear definition of what makes us tick, we often live according to someone else's idea of success. Identifying our values and feeling much less adequate go hand in hand. Dialogue. When feelings of inadequacy surface, show yourself some grace. Begin by having a positive conversation with yourself, realizing negative feelings of inadequacy probably transpired in our childhood. Helps us obviate blame and guilt. Realizing we are feeling inadequate is very different than being inadequate. Context. Appreciating we aren't alone and understanding that many people suffer from the same sense of poor self-esteem that we do helps reframe the magnitude of our catastrophic thinking. We are all human, we are all fallible, and we all hurt sometimes. Move. The best way to start feeling better is to move our body. It's one of our 4 tenets of equanimity. Whenever we feel low exercise, it's the magical remedy for feeling lethargic. Activity is always a great way to produce positive feelings that help us recalibrate and start feeling better. Confidence. Building better confidence is critical for being comfortable taking calculated risks. The more success we enjoy, the more confident we become. Confidence becomes the catalyst that drives us in the direction of developing genuine self-confidence. We have to hold our head high and embrace the hard work of personal and professional improvement. Adversity. Many people just don't like adversity. Can't blame you. Fear and uncertainty have a funny way of depleting our drive and ambition. We can't allow it though. We need to work through the pain, embrace the comfort of being uncomfortable, and learn to make that our companion. Once we learn to appreciate the power of overcoming adversity, life gets measurably better, and so does our feelings of being inadequate. Now, I hope these 9 things can help us appreciate that feeling inadequate and being inadequate are completely different. And we can move in the direction of improving this sense of inadequacy by practicing, or at least being aware of these 9 things we talked about. If there's anything else you've done or had success with in overcoming this monumental issue for so many people, share it with us in the comments section. I'm Steve Wohlenhaus. This is Anatomy of Success. Until next week, let's stay focused, let's stay positive, and let's stay optimistic.